Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Sportsman's Warehouse and the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency.
Good Saturday morning, everybody. Once again, it is Outdoors with Larry Ray, the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor broadcasting, brought to you from the ESPN 790 studios in Memphis, Tennessee. For all of our friends in Brownsville, Tennessee, we're out there on 95.3. And for you good folks in Jackson, Tennessee, we're on News Talk 101.5. This is not Larry Ray, as you can probably tell. It's Frank Barton. Larry lets me introduce folks from time to time. But today we have a special person to me. I can remember years ago, 20-plus years ago, reading in the Memphis Commercial Appeal about a group of people down at Arcabutler Reservoir that were putting on a hunt, and at that time we just called it the handicap hunt, and it's kind of progressed now. It's referred to it as the physically challenged hunt, but Ernie Lentz, who is the program manager at the Arcabutler Reservoir, has been putting together this hunt for a good number of years. It's an amazing collection of people that come together, and they have various physical disabilities, but they, for at least a brief period of time, have a chance to do the things that those of us that love the outdoors take for granted, and they're able to participate in a deer hunt. And Larry Ray has written about it numerous times in the publications that he writes for. So I'm going to let Larry finish the introduction of Ernie, and it's not appropriate unless I refer to Larry as the Oracle, the one and only, the Oracle of the outdoors, Larry Ray.
Well, you know, the Oracle Arena has been closed down in Oakland, so I guess they're going to close me down next, as I'm the Oracle of Memphis, and put me in a new place. Hey, I'm really happy to have the way we worked this out with Frank and Ernie in studio, because Frank is one of those volunteers with a capital V that this function could not go without the volunteers. And Ernie always has the total number of man hours these guys work, and it's not work, really. It's the pleasure. So first of all, welcome, Ernie, to be with us here in the spacious studios. It is nice. Too bad you never got to go to our old studios at down on 1610 Union Avenue, but this is nice. Thank you for being here. The hunt itself, December 5th through 8th at the natural area, right?
That's right, the natural area below the dam there at Arcabutler Lake.
Well, tell our listeners that maybe they don't know anything about this hunt. Why do you do it?
Well, this will be the 29th
wow.
physically challenged hunt, and it started out as a management tool for us at the lake. We had we have 1,000 acres below the dam there, this natural area, that this is the only time that it's hunted. And so we noticed that the browse line was extremely high, and so we started the hunt as a way to manage this deer herd and make sure that we keep a healthy and sustainable deer herd. And what better group of guys to get involved than these guys who doesn't have this opportunity like you and I do.
Yeah.
I mean, we can up and go. You're talking about going in the morning and stuff. So, but it's a major ordeal for some of these guys to get them into the woods and to give them the chance to experience what a lot of folks take for granted.
So I'm saying that, but what challenges do they have?
Well, it's a mobility impaired hunt. So in order to qualify to take part, you must be a paraplegic, quadriplegic, or ambulatory with the use of leg braces, crutches. We have some vets who have lost legs and they have prostheses and stuff. And so it's a mobility impaired hunt. So it's got to be something of that nature that gets you into this hunt.
And so now they will hunt X number. They've got a few openings left, folks. I'm going to give you Ernie's number before we end here, but they're going to be packed when it comes time. But they're going to hunt for each participant will explain how they get certain time to hunt, right?
Right. Each hunter gets 2 days to hunt.
2 days to hunt. Okay.
So a group will hunt the first 2 days, and then a new group will come in and hunt the second 2 days.
And they'll all have someone with them.
If they need assistance. That's right.
You have ground blinds.
Everybody has a covered ground blind that's somewhere over food plots, some of them are in the woods. We have hunters who are capable of riding ATVs, and they bring their ATVs, and so we've got ATV teams that they go into those type of stands. We've got guys who have to stay in their chair, and it's a motorized chair.
Yeah.
And so, those things are not light.
Yeah.
And so we've got a little lift truck that we get them into the woods, and we use every
possible thing.
That's right.
To get them there. It's shooting time. And that's where you mentioned ATVs. This man has donated a few ATVs, hasn't he? He's
come and brought some of his demos with us, and like you said, as a volunteer, we couldn't do it without volunteers, and he's such a big help to us and has been for years, and also we're so thankful of the guys who come out and give of their time. And the hunters are too. They appreciate it. And one of the things that I always look forward to each year is we have new hunters every year.
Uh-huh.
And so most time, this hunter is kind of new to his disability.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's a lot of times they come and so they're still trying to come to terms with their new life.
That's right. Yeah.
And so when they get out there into the field, and they see that they can, this is just a minor speed bump in the life journey.
Yeah.
Then they leave with a whole different perspective, and that's one of the things that we get to do.
And Frank, I know your participation in this it's something that you look forward to because you get to know those guys and get to see what they go through. And like when we go duck hunt, we go in and, as you said, you'll have it all set up for me just to climb up in my spot and everything like that. But why do you take part in this?
Well, I told you before. I remember reading about it in the Memphis newspaper, and I and I thought, boy, what a neat, what an amazing event. My father-in-law was a quadriplegic, so I've got because of that relationship, I always had firsthand knowledge of what the special needs that takes for those folks, and I had an opportunity because of this radio show and the time that you interviewed Ernie over the by telephone one time, and you were able to set the hook in me and got me to commit to bring some of my vehicles down there, which I did. And at that point in time, all I was doing was just supplying 3 or 4 utility vehicles and letting Ernie's staff use them for the weekend. And then somewhere that progressed where I just started bringing my own and acting as a chauffeur. But it got to be more than that. As you say, you get to where the folks that come in, and you see the people year in and year out. And unfortunately, what that goes along with that, sometimes you don't see the same people the next year.
You don't,
because they're no longer with us. But
you're making memories.
Yeah, it sure does. And I take the opportunity of through social media and chronicling what's going on during the day with those friends of mine with Facebook. And as a result of that, I've actually had a couple of friends that now come down and also volunteer.
There you go. Yeah.
And have experienced the same thing that I have. I've already reached out to them,
getting
dates, ready for this one, and said, "Hey, y'all all ready?" And they've all said, "Yes, we're ready to go."
Because there's a campfire experience. They spend the night, most night. I mean,
that's right.
And there's a campfire. There's the cooking. There is so much that goes into it. Probably the hunting is it's part of it, but the camaraderie and things along that line, you make these people, and I'm saying these people, you make these hunters feel at home.
And we try to make it as authentic hunting experience as we can. We don't want to make them too comfortable because then they won't go out in the woods. But
no matter what the weather is either.
That's right. And so if the fire's real hot and they want to sit around the fire and talk, then they're not out in the woods. And so, but we try to make it as authentic as we can. And so it's just
well, let's give them the number, how to find out the number to call, Ernie, if they have any questions or anything is what?
It's 662-301-4561. That's my direct line and rings right at my desk. And if I'm not there, my voicemail will pick up, so you can call me. If a listener meets those criteria and wants to try to get into this hunt, please call me, and we'll try to get you set up to hunt this time around.
All right.
And so
that's the number. We'll have that on lroutdoors.com under our events thing. I have it listed. Ernie, thank you for taking time to come up from Arco Butler this Saturday morning. Frank, again, always good to see you after you've been on the road for so long.
It's good to be back.
Good to be back. I know. Got to see
ready to start into the important
your grandson.
things.
You didn't get to see your grandson.
That's right.
Yeah, so let's take care of that. Let me tell you about next week's show real quickly. Ron Wong and Bill Cooksey will be our co-hosts. We're going to talk to David Humphreys, store manager at Sportsman's Warehouse in South Haven. They need to get involved in this. Joshua Warren of Work Sharp Outdoors. They're knife and tool sharpeners. I always like knives. You know that. And we got a real pleasure. We're going to talk to the CEO and president of Discovery Park of America, and that's Scott Williams. First time on this show. If you haven't been to Union City and Discovery Park of America, get up there. It is a great place to go. Jim Coyle of Hero Hunt. They put on hunts for wounded warriors. They're not associated with Wounded Warriors. They are with the Nashville-based Hero Hunt. We're going to talk to Jim next week. And Amy Snyder is going to update us on all the CWD you need to know, and more than you really want to know, because it's chronic wasting disease. And I will say to Ernie that they'll be keeping track of that when you guys are down there, right?
That's correct.
Okay. We don't want anything bad to happen. Thank you again, Frank. Thanks, Ernie. Shelby McCall, you did it again. Okay. It's a survival working with me. I know that. So this is Larry Ray. Reminding you I do each and every week. It doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport. And what else?
God
bless the USA.